Yesterday, I was at the supermarket with my 9-year-old son when he suddenly asked me, "Mom, lately I'm seeing people from so many different countries in Panama. What's happening?" If you have been wondering the same thing, just keep watching. Today, I'm joined once again by my husband, Duncan, who is going to help us answer that question. Welcome.
Thank you, Patricia. Happy to be here.
I'm very happy to have you here.
Thank you.
Even our son noticed all the different nationalities we are seeing these days in Panama. But where are most of them coming from?
That's a great question, and one of the reasons that I actually love Panama. I think Panama City is one of the most multicultural cities in Latin America. It reminds me a lot about Toronto, where I grew up. Toronto is recognized as being a large multicultural city, and ethnicities and people, religions from all over the world, and we get that here a lot in Panama. I think it comes back even to when the construction of the Panama Canal, one of the world's great engineering feats, but workers from all over the planet came to help with that construction. And then nowadays we have the multinational companies relocating a lot of international workers here. And of course, people relocating to Panama for Plan B, for a better quality of life. And it's interesting because most of the people that are coming here for this better quality of life are actually coming from what we would consider to be developed countries. So to answer your question, where are most of these people from? A large number of them are from the States, a huge American population here in Panama, a lot of Canadians. The Canadian community is massive and growing every day, and a lot of Europeans are now. Panama's on the radar for Europe. Perhaps a little bit of the turmoil in the Middle East has shifted some of the traditional destinations that people choose to relocate to, and now Panama is more and more on the map every day.
Being honest, there are many places people could choose to relocate to, but what makes Panama stand out?
One of the biggest attractions to Panama, which maybe is not immediately obvious, is freedom. And that's freedom is an interesting word, because people say, no, I'm from the States, I have freedom. I'm from Canada, I have freedom. I'm from Europe, I have freedom. But that word freedom takes on a different meaning once you start experiencing Panama and its lifestyle. And a whole new definition of freedom can form in people's minds. People might think they're free, and then they discover something different and be like, wow, this is a different level of freedom. I think to me, that's one of the greatest advantages of Panama, but there are so many other different things in the lifestyle. You can live a lifestyle in Panama that you most likely could not afford in most places. But in Panama, it's affordable and it's easy, and you have all the conveniences that you would have in any other developed country, including connectivity, great connectivity with the airport to most destinations.
And if Panama is the place that is calling your attention, there is a residency option that can make the process easier and faster. We will be talking about it at the end of this episode, so don't go anywhere. As someone who has made Panama his new home, what would you say are the 3 things that people love most about living here?
Well, Panama City is a major cosmopolitan city. It has a wide variety of restaurants. The culinary scene here is amazing. Great fresh food, considerably inexpensive when you compare it to other countries, but amazing food, great healthcare, amazing beaches, islands, mountains, all within close proximity of the city. It's 3 things. It's hard to pick 3 things, but it all comes down to things that make the lifestyle so much better. And of course, not forgetting healthcare. Healthcare is amazing in Panama. We have Johns Hopkins hospital affiliates down here, as well as other great hospitals. And I think for many people, the healthcare is utmost importance. And not little known, but something that a lot of times people don't consider is water and the quality of water. Being in a country where the quality of water is very good and very abundant, you can drink the water from the tap. people coming to Panama don't get sick. They don't get stomach problems or stomach issues that you can experience in other countries. It's the quality of the water. And I think that in the future, water will become more and more important and a bigger topic. And again, it's one of the big things in Panama. So 3 things. I think I went more than 3, but I do love Panama so much that I have so much to say. And what I've tried to do here is not mention what most people are mentioning, which is why I brought up something like the water, the quality of water.
And also the international schools.
The international schools are great. A lot of different options of schools, from international schools, American schools, British school, the French school, lots of different international schools to choose from.
And if you would like to learn more about healthcare and education in Panama, I will leave in the description the links to some interviews I have done on those topics. Our audience is often asking me about the cost of living and safety in Panama. What's your perspective on those concerns?
Well, I think the easy one to answer is safety. Panama is extremely safe. We don't have much of the problems of crime or drugs that you see in other countries. Traveling to big cities in North America, which we've seen recently,
yes.
It's shocking really the effects of drugs and homelessness, which isn't something that you really see in Panama. And overall, it's a very safe city. You can walk down without fear of being attacked or robbed. You're not seeing drug problems on the streets. So safety, yes, easy, very safe. It's an easy answer. Cost of living, that's more subjective because it all depends of what sort of lifestyle you want to have and where you're coming from and what the cost of living is where you're coming from. If you're coming from Miami or New York, you're going to find Panama quite inexpensive. If you're coming from a smaller, more rural-oriented city, you might find it more expensive. If you go to the supermarket, when you go to a supermarket in Panama, you're finding everything you would find in a US supermarket, but many times you're paying the same prices you would be paying in the US. It's not that that's much cheaper. If you want to go to the local markets, if you want to go into the seafood market, San Francisco Neri, lots of different markets, you can get things considerably cheaper. But again, it's going to be relative to where you come. I think that most people do end up living in Panama for a lower cost of living than they had back home. But of course, I also know people that like to really live it up, and I'd say that they're probably matching their expenses back home. So I know a lot of people that are watching this are probably saying, yeah, but I saw different programs or shows and they're saying that I could live in Panama for $1,200 a month or something, and I'm sure you can. But again, it all depends what sort of lifestyle you want to have, yes, and how you want to live. But overall, I do think that if you compare it to major cosmopolitan cities, to have the same lifestyle that you have there, it would be more inexpensive in Panama, more affordable here in Panama.
In your experience, what other questions or concerns people usually have before moving to Panama?
One of the other questions that always comes up is, will I be able to assimilate and adapt? How easy is it to integrate myself into the culture? First of all, Panamanians are extremely friendly. They're very open. They like to have a good time. They like to socialize. But the massive expat communities here are, very open, very friendly. I can think of, just off the top of my head, at least 5 different expat groups that are constantly hosting events, get-togethers. We get invited to things all the time. When I end up having to turn most of them down, I get invited to too many things. But in terms of meeting people, fitting in, finding that right group to socialize with, because socializing is such an important part of our lives and quality of life as well. There's so easy in Panama. Everybody's friendly, open, and it's so easy to meet people here.
What's one mistake people should avoid when planning their move to Panama?
That's an interesting question, and I think the answer changes the question a little bit. But I remember living in Toronto. I remember the winters. And the only thing I could think about was living on a beach. I want to live on a beautiful beach somewhere, and that's my lifestyle. And I moved to Panama, and I said, I'm never going to live in the city. I don't want to live in a city. And I was trying to find that right beach that I could live in. And it turns out that the city had everything I wanted and was close enough to not just one beach, but many different beaches that I could experience. So I think the one mistake is give the city a chance. Maybe it's not a mistake, but give the city a chance. When you come to Panama, a lot of people come to Panama, spend a day in Panama City, and right away go and start exploring the beach communities. I think that the big mistake is not giving the city enough time, because what we see is a lot of people end up moving to the beach communities, which are great, and for a lot of people, that is the right choice. But before that final decision is made, is give the city a chance, because I think people will be surprised by Panama City, everything it has to offer, and how close it is to the beaches and the islands, and how easy it is to make friends, and so many different things to do here in the city. So maybe not so much a mistake, but maybe a piece of advice is, when you plan, if it's your first visit, if it's your first trip to Panama, spend a few days in the city, explore the city a little bit more, because it's a city that's full of surprises, and it's a city that's easy to fall in love with.
Yes, do not limit yourself. For those who are new to our channel, can you tell them a little about our company and how can we help them relocate to Panama?
I think our primary focus, of course, is the real estate side of it. It's either selling or renting apartments. We have the largest property management company in Panama, which means that anybody looking to rent an apartment before their purchase, we can obviously help them find the right rental property. And as far as, when they actually decide they want to purchase, we have special access to properties and to pricing that is not commonly available in the market. We have special relationships with developers, and we have private pocket listings, you could call them, which get people access to properties that would not normally be found otherwise. So I think our specialty is in making sure that we find the fit of the right property for what the person is looking for, whether that be for a sale or for a rental.
And if you are considering a move to Panama, we also offer discovery tours. This guided experience gives you the opportunity to discover Panama up close. You will find more information in the description below. Earlier, I mentioned that there is a residency option that can make the process easier and faster. So, what is the red carpet visa and who is it for?
The red carpet visa, I guess, would be the newest addition to the different residency programs available in Panama. I say the newest, but I think it's been around for about 5-6 years now.
Yes.
Actually, I think it came out right in 2020, right during the pandemic. So it has been around 6 years now. And it's a way to facilitate acquiring residency in Panama. And we're calling it the red carpet visa. Different people call it different things. I've heard it called the qualified investor visa, the golden visa. Officially, it was launched as the red carpet visa, and then different people call it different things, but it is the same visa. So whether you hear qualified investor, you hear golden visa, red carpet visa, it's actually all the same program. And it allows people to get residency, permanent residency, within about 45 calendar days. The process is quite simple to do, because you can start the process without even being in Panama, and you can actually even get the residency before you arrive in Panama. The program allows for different ways to acquire that residency. Most people choose the route of buying real estate because it requires a lower investment amount. For real estate, it's $300,000 purchase, but you can also do it by getting a term deposit, which I believe the number is $500,000 for that. And you can also do it with investments in different stock markets, in Panamanian stock market. But the primary way that people are doing it is through the purchase of real estate. You do a $300,000 purchase, and like I said, within 45 days, you will get your permanent residency. After 5 years of having that permanent residency, you can apply to become a Panamanian citizen.
Of course, the red carpet visa isn't the only residency option available. You have probably heard about the Friendly Nations visa. So, what's the difference between the red carpet visa and the Friendly Nations visa?
I think the primary difference is Friendly Nations visa is limited to a list of nations. So basically, it's not open to every single country in the world. A lot of countries are on that list, and you can check with an attorney to see if your specific country is on that list. Whereas the red carpet visa or the qualified investor visa, you can be from any country and you can apply. Also, the Friendly Nations visa requires a lower threshold to apply. which is you have to make a real estate purchase the amount of $200,000. I think the big difference is it does not give you the immediate permanent residency. It gives you a temporary residency for 2 years, and after 2 years you go through another process to turn that temporary residency into a full-time permanent residency.
Thank you so much for being here.
My pleasure. It's always fun to be on the show and to share a little bit about my insight into Panama.
I hope this conversation has helped you better understand how relocating to Panama can look like. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out. We would be more than happy to help. See you next time.